my question. What are
Honorable,
the constitutional risks?
I have a short response to
Please
what
respond.
you have said. The public is not only watching me, it's watching all of us. And the jury will be out there. I cannot be intimidated by you. I'm a man with indomitable spirit. I still rule that a question has been asked. The nominee will not answer this question again.
For any Afenyo marking meeting meter ye pa na be too far the near chimo a year vetina air coswa edi nominati a year the 7 Supreme Court judges such as Omartinasano. Na we di Afenyo marking and I just say yeah choking on one side. I just say or genuine engine. First Deputy Speaker a year I handful on the side chairman of the air vetting. Na so no and watch remember some I was say Afenyo marking you be intimidating it down man in functional jumu down any day any time say beating the no ding nim d any bb I intimidate man in yes I just was stopping off from accents and you can say smart questions and some questions are sabi 10,000 shadai here why they was stopping the majority leaders so are stepping in Congress.
Chairman, this strategy by the majority that they have their time. When it gets to my time, then I have follow-up. Anyway, I will yield to you. If you, Chairman, would want to allow these things, no problem. Follow up and think that you will be distracting me. I don't.
Honourable members, I believe everybody must be treated equally, particularly the leaders. There are instances where the minority leader called for a follow-up question and he's been granted the floor to ask a follow-up question. In all the vetting that we've carried out, the record can bear me out. So if the majority leader wants a follow-up question, I think it is in good faith that we ask him to do a follow-up question. Please, majority leader, you have the floor.
Well, this being the first time I'm speaking, let me join colleagues to congratulate my 1 year senior.
Mr. Chairman, let's be careful what we are doing. It's not good for democracy. If it's a follow-up, let me congratulate my 1 year senior. If it's a follow-up, you should go straight to the chairman. Don't be doing these things. So it may be politically convenient for you, but tomorrow it will hit us as a parliament.
I can just understand the minority leader this afternoon. Because if the person going to ask the follow-up question is now talking to the nominee for the first time, what is wrong?
But he would have the opportunity to ask his own substantive questions.
So
he's already indicated to the deputy chair that he will take his turn after me. Please, let us not set a bad precedent. This is not the first time we are doing vetting. Let's stop this. You are the majority. You may not want to delve deeper. Allow us to do our work. What is happening is not good, Mr. Chairman. When we talk, it's like we are sharing your power. Let's stop it. It's not good for the country. It's not good for our image as parliament. And I protest. He says he's going to have his turn.
Honourable members, I do not think any rules of the House has been flouted. So I'll proceed to give the floor to the majority leader. Majority leader, you have the floor.
Thank you very much. Let me join some colleagues to congratulate my 1 year senior at the bar on your nomination to the Supreme Court. By way of follow-up question to what he has done, if a president appoints ministers and public officers and directs all of them to file their asset declaration forms with the Auditor General. And then further directs that when they have filed, they should send him the receipt. Because when you file with the Auditor General, they issue you with a receipt. And he further directs that when you file, forward a copy of the receipt to me so that I see that you have actually filed. If you don't send me a copy of the receipt, I will sanction you. If the president sanctions his appointees for not forwarding copies of the receipts to him, how is that, in your opinion, a usurpation of the functions of the Human Rights Commission?
Honorable Nominee, you have the floor.
Honorable Chair, it is to me not a usurpation of the functions, and I have said so. Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Minority Leader, you may proceed.
Honorable Nominee, now let me be very specific and pick your thoughts. General sanctions imposed by the president against his appointees for some stated misconduct, in my view, may be within his general powers as an executive president. However, my question to you is, would the president be acting within his constitutional powers, having in mind Article 287 of the Constitution, if he imposes salary fines on his appointees for failure to declare their assets, to impose salary fines?
Honorable Chair, as stated, I do not see that the president has usurped his powers. It is an administrative fine or sanction that he has imposed, and I think it is well within his rights.
To impose salary fines, correct? I mean salary fines. That was your general. I'm referring to the salary fines, the imposition of salary fines. That is the one I'm talking about. As for the general issue of not usurping the powers of Ṣpiṛit, I've understood you, that he has the powers to administratively sanction. But I'm saying specifically on imposition of salary fines. Your thought on that?
The nominee has heard your question and has provided an answer. So,
Mr. Chairman, yes, he's provided. I've heard the nominee on the issue of usurpation, and I'm not litigating that. What I am specifically narrowing on, which I want unambiguous view. She can say she's abstaining. Yesterday, some declined to answer. I won't pursue. I am asking whether specifically the power to impose salary fines, do you consider that to be constitutional? That is my specific question.
Honorable Chair, my position remains the same.
Very well, we move on. Now, my lady, how should the court view presidential actions that appear to preempt or substitute investigative and enforcement role constitutionally vested in Ṣpiṛit under Article 287?
Can the question be clarified?
My lady, by way of clarification, and I would repeat the question and break it down so that I assist with some example to help. And I thank you for always seeking clarification. So the question is, how should the courts view presidential actions that appear to preempt or substitute the investigative and enforcement role constitutionally vested in Ṣpiṛit. So, instances, now you're going to that all-important court, the Supreme Court. A matter comes before you, and on the face of the facts, you realize that there is a preemption, or the presidency or the executive has taken certain decisions that in itself takes away the powers of a constitutional body. As a court, having seen such a situation, what will be the reaction of the court? That is the point I want to know.
Honorable Chair, I believe that these matters will be determined based upon the evidence before the court and the issue placed before the court. So it's very difficult to make a general statement of how the court would react. So it would be dependent on the circumstances of each particular case. Thank you, Honorable.
My lady, will the courts readily and boldly intervene upon clear breaches in such circumstances based on the facts?
If the court should come to a conclusion that there is a clear breach, then I believe and presume that the court would act. If the court should come to that conclusion, then the court would take an action. Yes. No.
Very well. Let's deal with a bit of rule of law and accountability. In your view, what do you think would be the accompanying risk of allowing a certain president to set the punishment for non-declaration of assets, particularly in the absence of an independent investigation or an independent body constituted for that purpose? What do you think are the constitutional risks?
Honorable Minority Leader, is it not the same question that you are coming back to ask? Same question has been asked and answers provided. So for me, it is the same question that you are rephrasing. So you may answer. You may ask another question, please.
Chairman, if you want to find a way to stop this vetting, I will yield to you. Stop what you are doing. The whole country is watching you. Stop what you are doing. Stop what you are doing. If you want us to fold up, I'm not here to debate with you. I'll fold, discharge her, let us go. If that's what you want to achieve, I've seen it all. This drama, but whatever precedent, if not 4 years, 12 years, 20 years, it will come back and haunt this house. No problem. If you are strategically planning that a Supreme Court nominee should not go through this thing, so be it. But this question is not out of order. I am putting a question. Please pay attention to my question. Pay attention to my question. Pay attention to the question I'm asking. I'm not asking the same question. I've done research. I've worked overnight. I left this parliament, my office, at 12 a.m. Go back here at 6. I know what I am asking. I'm not saying the same thing. For the avoidance of doubt, I repeat my question. What are the constitutional risks?
I have a short response to
Please
what
respond.
you have said. The public is not only watching me, it's watching all of us. And the jury will be out there. I cannot be intimidated by you. I'm a man with indomitable spirit. I still rule that the question has been asked. The nominee will not answer this question again. Pose another question.
Honorable nominee, the executive has its executive powers provided for in the Constitution. What, in your view, will amount to situations where risks are created by allowing the executive to overreach its constitutional mandate with administrative directives?
Thank you, Honorable Chair. A determination that the executive has overreached its mandate will be made when the matter comes up before the court. And if the court comes to a determination that the powers have been exercised in contravention of the mandates under the Constitution, the necessary orders would be made. Thank you.
My lady, in your view, if you are confronted with a requirement to use administrative directive of convenience to solve a problem that emanates from a constitutional breach and a requirement for due process to resolve same, what will be your option?
Honorable Chair, in all cases where it is established that an action is a breach, then it would be important to proceed along constitutional processes.
Wanga so when mguasi awaje. Afenyo, mguasi awaje. Mguasi na dibia awaje no. Dibia awo country be say the way bia no make sure say it will come back to hand that person. Bra now more 8 years in government no. That's our dream we no dream. So I dream now now the treaty amount for and then I'll DM me chinebi 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 no. Now was I dream we dream. Bran na more packet court no. Now was I dream we dream. Bran na we shall not say for no. Now was I dream we dream. Bran na more party flag bearer. I don't know say president. Go him for any mass and last I didn't know three. Brown on crop for no. They almost settled to amount for secure banks or no. Last animal who trim. Man for soon, man for day because of you pronounce I didn't know trim. We levy and pet was in one year, but last animal who trim. And I know the movie is but now a year powerful so long. I'm a wabba or grow. No dream, say it will come back to haunt you. Anything be a wee beer or be no one ya dream beer no, and then now the Emmy or Chinebi, and then now the Emmy or Chinebi to come back to haunt you. If we be ashing you, you are setting a bad precedent, and yes, I'm also my bar, you say, eh. Almost all the nominee or my better when you now cast as a nature. And I dear more and a dear mocoyeno, motion you, and then I've told me I was a bit matter. Ah, Sasa, I found out what in a woke be and I went to say. I feel like about moon a woke be because the okay cannon tell us you. And Ranocracy E. Now so be the same run as any Juma, and then we are watching a baby you, and then we say like Juma into us. Because I can't say, oh, as a leader, who cry a minority no, or be Casacra, what meet him. It's either you correct the person, do a follow-up question, or make the question clear. We be. The whole majority leader, so a follow-up questioner, also want to ask you. unjintum and then I would and a chinny or no DPBO. Doesn't make sense. Just a follow-up question. I want to also be our question. What about back now? Say be our question. Who say repeat the same question? I must say question now will be some because there is no time. It's another question. You pendream because we are wasting time. More much share some run Akroma or Masi. Say the papa could be to me be some question unlimited. Say 100 years, 50 hours ground from bisa question. More much share say enemy or Masi. Well, I can also be bisa at least one more body no swing on me nipa. More bisa 3-4. Any papa could be to me bisa questions. Tell so no every more smoke can be. The question will be some repetition be or what dreams is a well repeated question. Was it day be? I with the hours was spending night and I'm back meaning the may won't even inquire to me ye dean. Honor a year chairman of channels a won't mean interesting you. Won't mean intimidating me with and then now we are Genevieve and now we are Chile and now you're signing man of fat one chain because you're the man a year dreamer. If say oh boomerangs or ballet or unsuru. Yes, I will be our special, you're more important than anybody. Don't go on with me at your pay. I say correct work, I say, and now the me at Genevieve and now the Genevieve. So, some of us say, Nipa be brave, you know. Nipa be brave so show. And there will be almost social. I have our phone. No call parliament, Nankasa. No call life, Neshe. Comment about farm. Social media, so never comment about farm. In your papa. So President Ben City. Then now we always trying to be smarter than other people. And then now my no ne handsome na most of this government will be almost of this government will be used in the number of people them go Supreme Court pay any man na muye ne bi. No ne handsome so yes sanity. We say for it and say we be with my channel in the comment section. Subscribe and share my news here in for